Duck Newton, I know you are tired, but I have something I need to say to you, and it cannot wait a moment longer.
All right.
She says, Duck Newton, I am a murderer. And as she says that, you see her silhouette kind of like deflate a bit, almost as if she's like relieved from finally saying what she said. And she says, I told you earlier that my world, like yours, was tethered to an alien planet besieged by abominations from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
This was only part of the truth. I was the war counselor for my people. I pushed us into a conflict with that alien world. Our steel and fighting prowess crashed against their insectoid chitin and hive mind coordination, and there were losses, incalculable losses, on both sides, but ultimately, our world lost the war. They left us with just a handful of survivors. And so I forced the last great minds of our civilization to create a weapon that could defeat our foe for good, a disease. Lethal to our enemy, innocuous to ourselves. I delivered the payload myself, Duck Newton, and I watched as every living being on that planet. I'm the only survivor of both worlds now, and so I sought out the reason for our shared fate, and in doing so found Earth and Sylvain. And you, like other chosen before you, were selected to keep your people safe. That is just part of your destiny, Duck. Your true destiny is to not follow in my footsteps.
Damn, Minerva, that's a lot to dump on a guy. I've had kind of a full day already without starting to process your genocide.
There's more I have to tell you, unfortunately.
Damn, more than genocide, Minerva? Shit.
She says, I told you this now because my concerns about losing your trust, of damaging our relationship, in a few moments, it's not going to matter anymore. Your power, Duck Newton, it stems from your connection with me and my world. That includes your power of foresight. Surely you saw it, Duck, what you saw in your vision, the meteor.
Yeah.
It was never coming to Earth. It was coming for me. My world was prepared once for this contingency. I will go to ground and try as I always have to survive, but the mechanism through which I am able to speak with you, it will be annihilated.
What?
This will be our last conversation, Duck Newton. I beg of you, remember my world.
Nah, hold on. There's gotta be some...
Keep your world safe. Keep Sylvain safe. Continue your training. It will be harder after our link is severed, but you mustn't lose faith.
Minerva, why now? Like, why when I finally decided to do something about this destiny and powers and all this garbage, now I'm gonna lose it all? Now I'm gonna just be some dipshit with a sword? A fucked up sword?
She looks to the side and like cranes her neck upward like she's looking out a window, and she says, I'm sorry, Duck Newton, I know.
God, now, fuck me. I'm sorry. I'm being really self-interested right now. You got a meteor headed towards your house. Let's just get safe and take care of yourself and try to be okay, all right? I'll be fine here. I'll buy a gun or something. Jesus.
She crosses one of her arms across her chest and gives you a bow, a deep bow, and then she stands up and takes one last look at you and pivots to the side one more time, and she says, it's time to stop hiding. You need to finish what I started. Go to him.
Go to who?
And she turns back to you and she says, Duck Newton, my pupil, my friend, I was not talking to you. And she disappears. And then there's a knock at the door to your apartment.
I go to the door and open it.
You see framed in the snow that is blanketing Kepler as twilight approaches a figure standing at your doorstep. You see that he's wearing a pea coat and some beat-up fingerless wool gloves, one of which is wrapped around the hilt of a long broadsword that he's leaning against as you open up the door. And your eyes adjust to the light more, and you see the face of the person holding this blade. Leo Terkesian, your neighbor and friendly local grocer, clears his throat and says, "So, we should probably talk."